The six had made their way home from their 3-day voyage, successful in some aspects, failures, compromises in others, but overall, your technical mission, kill a colossal sky swimmer, had been at least given proof of a kill, and that was all that was required for the bare minimum extent uh, in order to get your money. As you arrived on the island, you saw that the previous light snowfall you ran into intensified. It wasn't full blizzard, but the conditions had clearly changed from the tropical paradise that you were almost accustomed to. Uh, Now slowly moving towards this frigid air that seemed to hover everywhere you went. The sky now, what once was beautiful yellows and mostly clear of clouds, now just a gray blanket slowly raining down between ice and sleet occasionally. You made your way to the guild hall to collect your reward, where you saw that it was bustling with a number of adventurers and vassals, which you're not quite used to, as almost every time you've gone, it's been quiet, low business, or just during the times of day, you would assume there wasn't a whole lot of people there. But on your way there, you noticed that there was an increased guard presence on the island. A few of you recognized the increase in guards, but didn't know who. Luckily, some of you were a little bit more familiar with outside resources. And not just outside resources, but people who really aren't on the island too often, unless of times of war, crisis, or large scale bounty hunts. In this case, the first brotherhood that has been kind of not necessarily revealed, but at least been shown in a bigger way in this campaign, was the Floors Alliance. As you saw a number of their mercenaries and what looked like to be their version of the Common Guard roaming the island, picking up the patrols that would normally be placed of the Council's Common Guard, and also just seemingly taking up positions around the ports and overall increasing what would normally be a very low uh, presence of military-esque, not just local power, but foreign power, which brought up concern in those who recognized them. And even more concern for those who didn't recognize them, because it's just extra guards around. Uh, but either way, after the party collected their reward, there was a bit of hashing out of what you wanted to do. The party decided to split up, as a few of you wanted to go shopping. Some had their own personal errands to do, and the others just had some really disappointing phone calls to make. So the party split up into Mammoth, Mustang, and Reese, headed to the Cloud District. Um, Although both headed the same way, not actually going together, which is funny. Um, and we had Kipley breaking off on her own and Duradon breaking off on his own to achieve various different things. You went and paid back the 1,500 gold that you got from not just losing the glass Pegasus, but presumably destroying it, as you never found the body, or nor cared to look because it's in both mind, body, and spirit. It's gone, man. You didn't really need any confirmation, and bringing back pieces of it probably wouldn't do you much for taking off the price. So you went up, paid your toll, and were also offered in the future, if you ever wanted to take out any more of the Binstrom modes of transportation, helpers, or any kind of artifice, you don't have to pick the expensive prototypes. You can pick any of them. Um, and you got one of the only semi-nice customer service experiences you got there. Um, that was quickly moved on by you all moving to Menevos's Hall of Wonders, where you went shopping for a few things. A very expensive armor set was offered to Reese. A +1 wand was requested, in which given, and the selling of a certain number of jewels was potentially thought about. However, due to the adventurer's nature to not necessarily steal, but come across their loot in not so legal ways, the shopkeep wasn't exactly too keen on just buying the gems outright, especially not at the price that you were offering, because in that case they would make no profit. And you had a little debate of them asking you to enter a zone of truth and answer some simple questions that both Mustang and Mammoth did not want to answer. So you still got technically a bunch of potential gold in your pocket until you sell them, or unless you want to use them for other things. But nonetheless, your group went on to go clothes shopping. Meanwhile, across the other side of the city, Kipling went and had a brief encounter with the Floor Alliance guards. As you were sitting on top of the roof, communicating with Vince, trying to set up a meeting. Uh, he, Nothing really came of it. It was more of just a random person was sitting on a snowy rooftop, and it was concerning. And you flew off after spending your fourth level spell slot to use greater invisibility to sneak away from the party in the first place, which was funny. Um, and you went and ended up seeing that the Garen's Crossing, the bar in which Vince runs and owns, was completely empty except for Drunken Jim, who, as per usual, offered any transfer of spell slots if you wish. You almost stole from the establishment. Didn't mean anything if you did. You are dating the person who runs it. And you ended up finally meeting up with Vince after a long time, some sort of business transaction going on beforehand, uh, and telling him what had happened. You had learned a number of things that had been done to you that you were unsure of, both the party's experiences, the meeting with Laura Dane Newman, Colossal Skies from the fight, and you had a brief moment of comfort and concern as both Vince realized he couldn't immediately do anything about it because Lauren Dane Newman is one of the more powerful individuals, if not one of the most powerful individuals, to grace these lovely seas. And definitely put on the shit list for now, but nothing of action was taken. A bath was given, and you went off on your merry way to enjoy a much needed state of relaxation. Meanwhile, Reese popped in to her sponsor to get herself checked out. You went to Nordstrom, in which you found was hanging from the ceiling doing some sort of strange experiment. Um, he offered to do surgery on you and identify an item as he had to cut open your neck. Um, you quickly obliged, and with a great amount of pain, had his finger jammed into your neck for roughly about 5 minutes as he identified the item within, which had no official name as it was presumed to be a custom-made item, but told you that the properties were of abjuration. Uh, some sort of warding spell was placed on this almost necklace-like chain. However, uh, also it doubled as an explosive device.
Okay.
He was unsure of the full potential to what extent the explosive would offer, um, but also said that was he was unsure of what the ward protecting you or presumably protecting you, was guarding you from. So he gave you the option of he could take it out, and whatever this protection is would go away, or you could leave it in and potentially lose your vocal cords if it explodes, maybe your head, leaning towards survival of a higher chance of it at least. But you decided for the moment that for now you would leave it in. You also learned that he has a surgery hand that does surgery for him, as he himself was on drugs at the time. You also had like a moment of Mustang and Mammoth kind of drilling your sponsor, where, where this very powerful, influential man, surgeon, uh, person of science was told that he had no friends, he was strange, uh, and that you didn't like him very much. And you moved on from there as you left the lab. Mammoth asked if he could have one on the hands. It was a very quick no. Let's see. Okay. Jared is alive. He is currently trying to get away from family who are curious about his vacation. Every minute he's not here, one of you die.
Oh,
Anyway,
why should we be punished?
because I can't punish him.
Why
Without him, the party dies. No, I'm kidding.
not?
But nevertheless, you ended up leaving and going clothes shopping, where Reese got a new outfit. Mustang got some formal wear and also got a Spitfire interaction with one of the employees. And you got at least one place on the island where you know if you ever have coin to spend and are needing for luxury clothing items or anything of the eccentric taste, you find your way to the Cloud District and they will happily take it from you. But nevertheless, the party ended up making their way down from the Cloud District, headed back towards town, when they got interrupted by a seemingly chance encounter to them, but was really someone who had been looking for them almost all day. As Duradon, mere 20, 30 minutes beforehand, had a conversation with Captain Eingard, Goliath head of the Common Guard, and also both a hater and supporter of the Six, as you've caused a number of problems on the island for him, uh, and have legitimately given him a stick as
Oh my
your answer.
god.
Um,
Lost the
I
plot.
don't but he and Durdon had a conversation where you learned a little bit about just how Durdon has worked. You learned Durdon has worked here for almost 9 years as a vassal, which far outranks the majority of you all. Um, Also learned he's incurred a number of damages to the city throughout his bounty hunting days, and has a large tab to be paid off that was covered by not necessarily the council, but the city guard itself, specifically Captain Eingard. Um, we got to see a little bit of friendship and how it operates between the two of them. Uh, and saw that Durin was at least trying to pay off some of his debt, even though he is currently without proper items, money, or equipment, even after getting his part of the reward, thanks to his whole card drawing nakedness. Um, but after that conversation moved on, we also saw, very briefly, a strange woman in a red dress walk by him. I'll get to that in a second. As Captain Eingard found the three amigos making their way back to town, he made both an offer and a warning. He pulled all three of you aside and specifically went to Mammoth and Reese and made you a very urgent offer. One that you would go down to the Vermilion Scabbard and wait for a mode of transportation to bring you to a site off of the actual island, in which, if needed, you would be used to talk down and or help negotiations with one Evelyn Gray. The party knows to an extent of Evelyn Gray and her situation. You know from meeting her down in the catacomb depths of the island. She is an interesting character. She's also the woman who currently possesses the body and soul of the daughter of, excuse me, the daughter of monarch monsters. Um, she is constantly pursued by the monarch of mimics, as from what she said, a marriage proposal that is just never turned down properly. Uh, and from what Captain Inger told you, is a danger to the city, and was the cause of why Mimic Island even ran into your group in the first place. Uh, and you learned that it got pretty damn close to actually getting onto Paradise Peak, from which approximately from one footstep on the island would have killed 7,000 people. Nevertheless, 5,000 gold was put up as a potential last-minute fee in case you were needed, in case you being on standby, excuse me, be called in, breaking in. And you two both accepted after hearing it wasn't necessarily something of a violent nature that was going to be had, but more the council's concern of her losing control or taking this the wrong way, of her being quote unquote relocated for the moment. And since both your group as the sixth were friendly with her, uh, for one way or another, which you never really got answers on, Captain Eingar disclosed that he knew you had a previous encounter which made you close with Evelyn Gray, Reese. So you were at the top of the list of people who could potentially help calm her down. Meanwhile, Mustang was pulled aside for a completely other uh, situation where you were warned to stay out of that situation and go to the golden scabbard, excuse me, golden cutlass. I know my bars. You're told the golden cutlass and stay there under watch. As from what he warned you, a number of different groups were currently looking for you, and that the Common Guard and the Council specifically had caught wind of a potential attack. Not necessarily on the city, but more leading towards you and your group. Not really displaying the name to the others, nor saying it out loud, but both of you knew in the moment it had something to do with the skeletons in Mustang's closet and potentially a bit of your past, along with some of your more recent history, as rumors of potential heralds being in town had drifted upon the winds. So he said a bodyguard would be waiting for you there, and that you would go wherever they went. If you had to go inside your room, they go in with you. You had to go to the bathroom, which you don't have to. You're a ghost. Um, they would go with you. And if you had any break of contact with them, that it would be a dire problem. Seconds later, you began making your way down into the city and saw a large greenish figure sitting at the gates, disgusting in appearance,
Hey,
picking at a belly button, and saying truthfully as it is, a strange man was simply guarding, waiting, or just taking up space in the road. And his eyes lit up with recognition upon seeing you, in which you quickly walk past as you were told. You're, at least in your mind, your guard was waiting at the Golden Cutlass and not at the city gate. So you thought it could be one of the people trying to kidnap you, kill you, or anywhere in between, and started running through walls to escape him, in which this cunning fellow, rolling actually pretty well, ended up thinking maybe they should have stayed where their post was, and that they should probably make their way back to the Golden Cutlass to meet presumably you there. Hopefully, if that's where you're going. Uh, and just before we ended our session, we had a brief scene between Durdon and Lorne Newman in disguise. Um, Archmage in disguise. I don't know why Transformers just went in. But you had a brief scene between the two of you. Some really, really sad sexual innuendos and just banter that would break the soul of a normal person. Luckily, neither of these two are normal in any way, shape, or form. And a deal was made that Luron didn't trust her to wield his current blade, Herma, sword of well-renowned, and its previous user being Lord Newman. She said that she needed it for one of its uses. Didn't specify, and Irma had a guess as to what she was going to be using him for, and said that as long as you never took your hand off him, and it was 100% necessary, he would allow it. In which the joke of grabbing Irma's wood was a lovely use of a legendary sword. Anyway, you were told that the timeline of going and infiltrating the Renell's excuse me, the Renell Dweller, was moved up, and then you had to leave right now. You and Kipley were both snatched up, brought on board the Sky Swimmer, and given a brief kind of pep talk, warning, whatever you want to call it. A speech was made by Lorna Dane, where she essentially mentioned that if she told you to do something, you would do it. If you didn't do something that she told you to do, you most likely die, and warned you of the very real risks that you were going to encounter. That of being this is not simply a mission that you have gone on where you've previously been sanctioned to do so. You are robbing a very powerful individual. There's most likely going to be powerful traps or other power individuals guarding said artifact. And that if you are to go off on your own, she cannot guarantee that you will survive. Uh, she also didn't exactly go too into detail about what specifically you both would be doing. She gave you both disguises, cloaks and masks to wear. Durdon was not given a mask. And instead, you got a really half put together wooden feeder mask given by yours truly, Kira Dumbal. Uh, Both you put your disguises on, uh, and after summoning up a portal onto the floor, we all jumped in to where we ended our session. As Reese and Mammoth, we're staring through two-way glass, um, where you saw a encounter of Evelyn Gray, um, a surprising Belle Estelle, excuse me, the sponsor who had previously been kind of a semi-professional hater, if not semi-nemesis of Maeve in your group, Carter Binstrom, and Layla Salir, at least having one of the many sponsors that are related to your group there, having some sort of conversation with her. You couldn't make out the actual words or specific nature of the conversation, as sound for whatever reason, does not pass through this barrier. But you could read body language and the room that it was a tense scenario, and that clearly, with very powerful people there and powerful equipment in the form of what the party doesn't recognize, uh, but once a previous artificer of the group might have, as the artificer known as Thaddeus is also being there. Something clearly was about to go down one way or another. Whether it was a heated argument, uh, potential violence, or some sort of discord, it was not looking good. And it got worse when, to your surprise, you saw four figures drop from the ceiling. One of which you recognize, both of you, as you saw Warren Newman in her normal attire drop down and uh, make a somewhat painful looking superhero landing, as her normal outfit is in heels. It's heeled boots, but it is still technically heels. Um, and the draconic form of Kira Dambala, the disguised form, excuse me, of Kira Dambala, once more adorned, as well as two masked individuals. One of a very tall, I can speak English, I swear to God, of a very tall looking hat, and the other a little shorter, both on the right and left of Lauren Dane Newman, flopped on the floor, and Lauren Dane made a brief gesture um, and a little one-liner of how thankful she was that the council was so eager to put her into the situation. Uh, and that's where we ended. And as we pick up for tonight, just to be an asshole and to build up pure dramatic suspense, we're going to move away from there and go back to the island. Also, hi, Jared. Welcome back.
Ew.
Happy to have you. Hope your vacation went well. Once again, bomb ass fucking near fucking photo album worthy pic that you dropped in the 2-day server. That shit unbelievably hard. Anyways, I'm off topic. As we pick up tonight's session, Mustang, you said you were, at least to the best of your memory, because you've only been there in total, I think, twice. Were making your way directly to the Golden Cutlass?
Correct.
Fantastic. Now, I will tell you this. Only because we're going to transition back and forth a little bit here. When you go through walls, as you said, as you run through people's businesses, it's not exactly a stealthy approach to moving throughout the city. It is a fast way of travel. As you bamf in and out of the material plane and just go in a straight line towards the Cutlass. However, there are screams of surprise. There are physical items, like going through a number of shops and stores and inns that you run into slash through. And also, uh, a little bit that you never really have to worry about because it normally drifts away. But for the sleuth following him, although you can't follow the direct path of this strange ghostly figure that you are assigned to guard, there is a noticeable trail of ash, pun intended, left behind in the wake of this very rapid escape. And although you can't follow it directly, as you begin to make your way, Sir Doug, through the dreaming city, you quickly put together the last intelligence check that you made. That not only is this headed directly forward to the Cutlass. But also, you begin to understand that your target, although they can move through walls, can't do so in a seamless manner that would show no sign of them being there, as you follow a little bit of the trail. And after about 10 minutes, uh, you finally arrive to the Gold Cutlass. Uh, and as you enter, Mustang, would you be in the downstairs bar area or at one of the tables of the Golden Cutlass? Which you've previously eaten at, and you know vassals are treated to a well a higher standard than most. In which you did lie about being a vassal last time you were here, so keep that in mind. I'm not going to make you roll a history check for that because it's been literally almost a year. The fact that I remember it, I don't even know how.
I
That's
remember,
hey, look at
but only
you.
because Mustang keeps trying to blame Kipley for it.
That's
I
so
swear.
true.
No. I swear I thought at the beginning when he was trying to come up with a sponsor, you were like, EC. You're just like,
Nope.
something's going on and I can't say.
Mm-mm.
And Mustang was fucking clueless. And they're like, oh, I understand. And they just wrote EC. That was my memory of it, that he had no part to play in it.
She played some part in it.
Oh, Kipley was an influence for sure, but you did not. You didn't exactly look into or question anything, nor did you deny outright being a vassal at first
No, I'll give
until
you
the
that. I'll give
second
you that.
job.
He's willing to lie about it.
So yeah, that was a thing. Anyway, moving on. Where is Mustang? As you get there 5 minutes before this fellow, just because of the pure speed of going through walls, even if he can track you, you're gonna be faster. So getting there 5 minutes before this strange figure. What is going for Mustang's head?
He'd probably see about whether or not there was a room already for him or if he needed to buy one. So he'd be talking to whoever's at the counter there.
Uh, I need to scroll up because I did make as you approach, you can see by the way the Golden Palace itself is completely empty. There is not a single other person in here, which both kind of gives you a little bit of relief in the fact that you are alone, but also gives you a little bit of concern, as this is one of the most popular establishments within the city for the higher class. And almost every time you're here, there's at least 5+ people, if not more. And as you approach the bar, Wendell Bumston, God, what a fucking name. Weston, the dwarven fellow that you previously had the encounter with, um, kind of you see his eyes light up as you come in, and his normal kind of jolly exterior is still presented. He gives you a smile and a wave, and as you approach further, it's been quite a while. Lovely to see you popping in here again. What can I do for you, Mr. Strums?
Oh, Gwendol.
Would you like something
I
to
hope
eat,
that.
drink?
What was that?
Or would you like something to eat or drink, or anything in between? Do you need anything? You seem to be in a huff. I don't
Oh,
physically see you exhale, but like your smoke is moving in a rapid pattern. I don't know if that shows any kind of concern or not. Am I reading too much into this?
my only concern is whether or not this place is so empty because all your rooms are booked and everyone's upstairs. Do you have any rooms available right now?
All of the rooms are currently being bought out by uh, the city guard. No one, at least to my knowledge, except for yourself and the members of the Sixth Council, Common Guard, and all of those who are in the current know of this, including myself, are to be allowed within this vicinity at this time.
I
Everyone else
see.
has been refused stay.
Okay. Does
And
that
as
mean
long as you
I?
are here, I was not told the entire story as for my own ignorance and protection within this situation. However, I was compensated, so I will not complain. I was told to offer you anything that you requested within reason, and to be of any guidance or assistance that I can offer.
Well, I would love to just stow myself away in a little corner right now, but I have to warn you, there was this real big guy following me. He's got a belly that hangs down like a blacksmith's apron, and I'm a little worried that he might be the guy. So if a big guy tries to get in here, let me know, and I'll help you stop him.
Kind of scratches his beard a little bit. Are you talking about Doug?
Doug?
Right. I'm going on a rough description here, but anyone talking about a belly that hangs out in an apron brings images of Doug. He was just here about, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes ago?
Hmm.
He was one of the people, to my understanding, that were supposed to be watching over you, but he said he had a. He said he smelt changes on the wind, and he just left out of the blue. I assumed that was code for he got an orders or something of the sort, so I didn't think twice of it. Did you
Yeah, that might
was
be the
he
guy.
did you run into him or have an encounter with him that would make you not trust him?
Well, I had one of the captives tell me that I had many groups pursuing me and looking to kill me, and then I see a big man standing quite conspicuously in the middle of the road staring at me and following me, moreover. So one had to assume, given
Right.
these.
He maybe be one of the people trying to nab you. That's logical. I thought. I really don't know. I mean, we could wait and ask him, or if you don't feel comfortable, you could go up in a room or out on the balcony where you can't be seen and wait till he comes here.
You seem pretty relaxed about it, so I'll take after you on this one.
All right. Just know if anything goes wrong, I. And you see, he kind of takes a step back from the bar, and uh, you kind of gesturing for your gaze to follow. You take a step forward and kind of lean forward, and you can see underneath the counter is one of the largest firearms in terms of a what would currently be a blunderbuss in this
Oh,
world.
Right.
And he goes, "Old Brendel's more than prepared to deal with any problems himself, just in case."
wow. That is an incredible piece of iron you have back there.
Well, thank you. I acquired it years ago, back in my sailing days. Encountered a not necessarily rebels or rioters, but a group of swashbucklers who were leaning toward piracy nearby, and they had a number of crates with very fashionable and strange items, and this was one of them. And I thought, well, the pay wasn't exactly that great for the job, so might as well take something that mattered. And that I did. She's made sure every patron I've come across so far has kept their manners. Except for your blue friend. I didn't exactly feel safe threatening somebody who, well, was missing an arm, and the small one who was holding a head, the bloody head. That's. I still had to throw out the tablecloth. I don't know why she gave it back. There's no cleaning out that much blood. Please,
No, you
please
did
tell
everything
her
right.
never to do that again.
I'll try.
I don't want to ban vessels from my bar. You are all a very respected flow of income and trust, and both provide level of protection. But at the same time, It's just awful. I just don't want to have that level of business be lost. I didn't see anyone for like 2 days after that. And by this point, um, a large figure walks into the bar as you finally catch up, Doug.
He's huffing and puffing and wheezing a little bit. He walks in, and they're the only ones in there, right?
Correct. There is
Okay.
just Bwendel, the smoky figure we were told about, and nothing else.
Okay. He'll excuse me. He'll just walk up, stand right next to Mustang. He'll just huffing, puffing, and wheezing. Doesn't say anything. He just kind of stands there.
Oh
Mustang kind of gives him the side eye before he turns to face him, and he holds out his hand. And he's like, "I assume you're Doug."
He reaches out to shake your hand. Yes, I am Doug.
Sorry for running on you, buddy. I didn't mean to make you accidentally do some cardio.
You were running from me?
Uh, yes. You are not exactly the most friendly apparition in the middle of the night after one is told that they are being hunted.
Oh, I just thought you were in a hurry to get here. I mean,
Oh, the pleasures of a simple mind. I wish I could think the way you do, Doug. I think I'm gonna quite like you. What got you into this whole situation? You seem, I know this is rich coming from me, but a little out of place.
not that long ago, I competed in a tournament. I won. I somehow have these abilities I don't fully understand. And they told me I was best suited to protect you from something. So here I am.
You said this tournament wasn't that long ago?
No. What was it, like maybe a week, would you say, Dom? In game?
Oh, since the one
Since-
shot happened,
Yeah.
it has been
For a couple days.
since you completed the exam, about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Because don't forget, between the travel, you guys have since the official bachelor exam that you guys all passed, it's been 2.5 months now, almost 3 months. So that little one shot happened about a week after the original exam took place. So
Okay.
you've been hired for about 2 weeks. This is still one of the first missions you've taken on.
Yes, it was 2 weeks ago. This is my first assignment.
Mustang goes deadpan hearing this is his first assignment, and he kind of looks over to the barkeep with
Gwendol
a
looks
dreadful
back
look
at
in his
you.
eye.
He just kind of shrugs.
Do not worry, I am a beast slayer. You are in good hands.
A beast slayer, huh?
Yes.
What
How'd you
kind
get
of-
that title?
Yeah,
Or
I'd
the
like to know.
beast. What?
I'd like to know what kind of beast you slew.
It was the beast I slayed during the trials. It was
Oh.
alfalfa.
That's a grass.
Uh, 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 black. It was a fuzzy deer. With a long neck.
I'm not sure I'm quite certain what monster you're referring to. A deer with
Sounds
fuzzy neck?
gruesome.
Its spit could kill one man in one hit.
It does sound fearsome. Right. Did you kill anything else besides that? Is it the only beast that you slain?
But just that one.
And that earns you the title of Beast Slayer.
Yes, that's what I call myself.
Suppose he did
Magnol does
slay
like
a
a
single
slow pan
beast.
towards you. I mean, the title's not exactly inaccurate, but that seems
Yeah, that's what he's right. He's a beast slayer. He slew a beast.
right.
I wanted my name to have some oomph. Doug wasn't enough.
Doug the Beast Slayer is certainly something.
Thank you.
Have you heard of you kind of, I don't know if it was intended, but you're following a similar tune of one of the more well-known vessels on the island called Duradon the Savage Hunter.
You a fan?
I do not know this person. What
Are
did
you
he
from around
savagely
here?
hunt?
Not exactly beasts, more like people who act like them, like scum, common criminals, anyone with bounties on their head, really.
His mouth drops. Like he's shocked.
Oh, is something wrong, Doug?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Bounty hunting?
Well, I've heard of bounty hunting, but I didn't know you could get a title for slaying people.
I think it's a. Well, to my understanding, he legally changed his name to Dirt on the Savage Hunter. So it's not exactly a title as much as his legal name, but it is just kind of a nickname of the Savage Hunter being, savagely hunting people. That's besides the point. Uh, As long as the council chose you specifically, I'm going to assume you have a wide variety of expertise for this mission.
Yes, definitely. I have my beast slaying dagger, and he goes to pull it out, but he fumbles with it and drops it on the ground. Then he bends over to pick it up, and then shows it, and it's just a regular looking dagger, a little rusted.
Right?
It's all I need.
Yeah, you'll tetanus him to death.
What is that?
Oh.
It's a Never mind.
I
Nothing to
also
worry.
have this black cane, and he pulls out just a black cane, but it looks like a chewed up pencil.
Oh, that looks slightly more enticing. Is it
rabbit.
magical?
No, a rabbit friend of mine left it for me.
Oh, that's a very nice gesture.
I thought so.
Where's your rabbit friend now? Are you a friend of beasts as well?
Yeah, I actually don't know many Harrigan on the island. I'd love to have him stop by.
He did not survive the trial.
Oh,
He was slain by a kitten, I believe.
oh,
What?
dear.
What kind of trial was this?
This from a kitten, and you were fighting a deer with a long neck.
Yes, it was quite the fight, quite the battle.
All right, then. I think I'm done asking questions. Do either of you need anything? A drink, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, just know that anything that would be under normal circumstances coming out of your pocket is currently being paid for by the city. So if you feel like having something a little bit more celebratory or something to help you with the nerves, feel free to binge out. Take whatever you need.
What room is Mustang staying in? I think I need to go check it to be safe.
Right, I already secured the premises a while ago, but if you need to look around,
They might have missed something. I have a keen eye.
Right away, Mr. Beast Hunter. Let me see. Well, they're all empty, so technically you can choose whichever you wish, but the one that I had the key ready for was room 7.
He'll take a cup of ale, take the key. I shall return, and then he'll go upstairs.
All right. Good luck. Scream if anything's wrong. And you head up on your way. Go ahead as you make your way upstairs and begin searching room 7, which to you is again, the rooms here are, in terms of 5-star hotel ratings, this is one of the highest quality inns on the island. So this is absolute luxury to you, considering this was far outside of your pay grade a few weeks ago. But just for the sake of sakes, go ahead and just roll me a straight perception or investigation check, your choice. See if you can find anything out of the ordinary. Just looking around the room, there's no obvious signs of intruders or anything like that. So you don't see any people standing within it.
Perfect.
It is clear. You have not a singular doubt in your mind.
This house is clear.
The house is clean. The demons no more. Yeah, no, it's good. Do you head back down to report that, or do you just kind of chill out in the room?
He'll just kind of chill out there for right now.
Sure.
While he's up there, Mustang leans forward and he whispers, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Right, I've never seen that man before in my life. I
Did
know
he
a
tell
lot of
you
vessels.
anything?
I know a lot of vessels. I was told literally nothing about this until you said that groups were looking to kill you. I didn't know they were trying to kill you. All I knew was you are a person of interest, protected by the city, and that I should not ask any questions unless questioned to do so. So I was in the dark about any information, even regarding who would be guarding you, except for his name and appearance.
I'm so sorry that you're getting roped into our shenanigans again.
Right, again, I am being more than compensated for this. I'm getting basically a year's pay for the few days that I'm told to keep you here. So don't worry about it too much. Just, I ask, if something does break out, try and bring it to the balcony or maybe outside the bar.
I'll keep it
Again.
away from the liquor cabinets.
Again, you're supposed to be within the bounds of the Golden Cutlass. We do have outside sections with tables and such. Just don't leave the full premises, and I'm sure that our contract will hold up just fine without me being questioned or having my funds taken away because you ran away. Please don't randomly run away.
I won't.
Thank you.
Oh, man. They had to have picked the ugliest bodyguard they possibly could have. Feel like he could make a dweller take a dirt road.
You see, it looks like he tried to hide a laugh and stifle it, but fails in doing so. Right, you don't need it. That seems harsh. I mean,
But you laughed. You know it's true.
I'm not gonna have this type of conversation when he's sitting upstairs.
You're a better man than me. And he'll kind of put both his hands on the bar and push himself up. I better make sure he doesn't, I don't know, accidentally open a book or something. And he'll head off upstairs to room number 7.
Oof, brutal. You walk upstairs, and you find Doug just kind of chilling in the room, perusing.
You find anything, Doug?
It's not the same room you stayed in previously, by the way. It's actually on the opposite side of the hall. However, it is still similar accommodations. However, this one you get a waterfront view opposed to
Ooh.
the
Ooh.
previous city sidewalk. Excuse me.
No. I did not find anything out of the ordinary.
Well, I am so glad to have such a keen eye at my side. And as he says that, he's going to start looking around the room to make sure that there's nothing out of place.
Sure. Use same dealio if you want to give me investigation or perception.
Okay.
He gives a grin with the one
Oh,
tusk
okay.
showing.
So it's a crit fail, but it's an 8.
That is, that's still an 8, bud. You feel, just because you're rolling that one, you feel as you were actively dissing him while walking upstairs, for whatever reason, you look around the room and find no flaw, and you gain a slight bit of trust in Doug, that even though he may seem silly and perhaps have some outward flaws, that at the very least he did do a thorough inspection, as at least to your standards, and found nothing wrong with it.
He just kind of puts his hands on his hips and he's like, Doug, I think I might have gotten the wrong idea about you. I thought you actually did a pretty swell job in here.
Why, thank you.
So, go ahead.
There is definitely nothing under your bed.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either. And he'll sit down on the bed.
Hand
So-
grabs you. No, okay.
Oh, God. You really only slain the one beast? And he'll kind of motion to the dagger.
Yes. The mighty beast.
You seemed pretty awestruck by the idea of taking down ne'er-do-wells the way that Duradon the Savage Hunter does. Is that something you'd want to do?
Yes. I am definitely capable.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Now, whether to be to your pleasure or dismay, being around me or any one of my friends, I think the chances of that happening has increased it at least tenfold. So, say cheers to giving some baddies the taste of your blade, and he'll hold up his ale for a cheers.
He holds his up too. And then he just downs.
Clink!
Yeah, he just downs it.
Mustang, you see that he kind of just splashes it on his face, and it evaporates, and there's like a roar of fire out from him, but it settles down really quickly.
That's great. Hell yeah. However, as you two both sit there, Mustang, even though you rolled absolute shit on your perception check,
Abysmal dog shit, yes.
abysmal dog shit, with all due respect, your passive perception is high enough to notice that, as you're sitting here, and now again with this kind of slightly more harbor-based view, the bed is not directly next to the window, but you can see for a moment as you kind of glance out, and the sun is going down now. It is roughly, like, we're gonna call this 5:30, 6 o'clock at night now. And you can see as kind of like the sunset reflects off of the ocean waves, and a bit of the ice that's kind of beginning to slowly almost encase the island in this extra layer of frost. You swear for a moment that as you look out, kind of get an instinctual feeling of being watched. And it's just that kind of primal, even for you, human fear of not being able to tell where from or to pick out who specifically. But as you look out, you just get kind of like a tingle that just runs down your coal-based spine. You can see for a moment the smoke almost like statically vibrates before settling back down. And your temperature rises a little bit.
Oh.
Not to a concerning degree, but to a noticeable one. But please continue. I cut you off. What were you about to say?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. I was
I
just
think one
shocked.
of you two, you were saying something.
I wasn't gonna say anything. Doug?
No.
I will say something different though, if you're done.
Yeah, good.
Mustang, upon feeling watched, are there like curtains that can be drawn or shutters that can be
There's shutters.
closed to? Okay, he'll close the shutters and he'll look to Doug and he'll be like, Doug, I think this room's kind of boring. Maybe we ought to check out a different one. Maybe room number 4. That sounds like a lucky number, huh?
If you insist, but you must stay here and let me check it first.
Whatever makes you happy, big guy. And he'll open the door of the room and gesture for him to. Well, go ahead.
He'll give a thumbs up and kind of waddle his way to the next room.
As you go to check the next room, when Doug leaves, you can feel that heat begin to rise, Mustang.
Oh no.
It's a slight change at first, but you can feel it continuing to do so. At a steady pace, you can just feel your body getting warmer and warmer. And that slow kind of infernal red pulse that always runs through you. Fire that gives you your bodily features of eyes, face, smile, everything in between. You can feel it expand. You can feel it glow hotter. And the second that Doug leaves, you can feel almost feverishly, lightheaded. And already sitting on the bed, you can feel yourself blinking a few times, feeling a strange sense of exhaustion for one who does not often get the sense of physical exertion. In the other room, as Doug checks, a few minutes go by, and with each minute, each second, that feeling grows and you keep glancing towards the window. You get a strange sense of wanting to look outside. And as you rise to do so, almost out of your control, at the very first step taken, Mustang passes out.
Oh no. Here we go again.
And we're going to go over to the other group.
Ah.
Oh, get ready for this, going back and forth all night, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go over to the other group, back on the unknown site, because neither parties that are here knows how they got here. As we head back to the conversation with Lorna Dane Newman and the sponsors. Now, any initial both thoughts, reactions, or anything that is going on between those within the sanctum of the two-sided glass? Reese and Mammoth specifically, as you see Lauren and Newman drop in with two figures and Kira Dambala pop in. Anything immediately from you two. Obviously, you're behind a door at the moment, so no immediate actions of violence can be done at the moment. But if you had anything that you'd like to discuss with one another, or if you had anything you want to try and do or say,
What else is in the
now'd be a good
room?
time.
What else is in the room?
It is a very thin hallway. You can tell this is an observation deck.
Hmm.
It's only about 10 feet wide, about 30 feet long. And you can see there's 5 other people here with you. Some of which you are familiar with. As the majority of Team 2, aka the people who were assigned as partners to you, Urza Kristen, the strange yet very shy necromancer,
Mhm.
Elisa Lorenhall, the ice mage you ran into, Arlen Liren, uh, and 2 other unknown, what you would assume to be higher ranking vassals. You were told some Vulcans would be here as well. Uh, these 2 of which you at least don't recognize. So you don't know if they're vassals, Vulcans, or anywhere in between, but there's at least 5 others in the room watching with you. And besides that, there is no notable kind of interior. There's no chairs. There's no kind of decorations or anything. It is plain stone wall on all sides,
Hmm.
which is for Mammoth you don't really get a lot of. But Reese, actually, go ahead and make me for this. I will say I will allow either a history check or or Arcana check. Your choice.
Well, I can't seem to get to shut off with the rolling advantage.
16. That's fine. It's a simple change on your sheet. I can help once I get a
The
second
thing
to
is,
dig it up.
it is
Um,
set the toggle advantage.
mhm. That's fine. We'll figure it out. But
Mhm.
16 is good enough to know that obviously you still don't know the location specifically, uh, but you know at least from the bare design of this room, and specifically the lack of anything being within the secondary room that you're currently in. Uh, this is some type of secluded either cell and or prison uh, that is currently. Oh my god, 70 pieces slain. Jesus Christ. Uh, the design reminds you of a prison and or cell that is devoid of anything unnecessary for concern of a magical and or kind of arcane type individual being able to manipulate items. You've seen a few of these before, not in prison yourself, luckily.
Mhm.
However, a lot of dweller jail cells, excuse me, remind you of a similar design. Just because of the lack of space in here, it's weird to have a viewing room or observation deck this tight. And the actual room itself doesn't look like its main purpose is to be that of a holding cell. So you think this was uh, either last minute put together, or a room had its purpose changed, and physically this space was changed to suit this purpose.
Mhm.
So you get a 16.
She Reese will look over to Ezra, nod her head, and like just take a careful step towards her.
Hi.
Been a while.
Yeah. Why are you here?
She looks over her shoulder to the room everybody else is in. supposed to have a conversation, but I'm
Oh.
not certain we'll have time for that.
Yeah, no. Oh, which, by the way, would you like to have just because I didn't give you the opportunity to last time because we were rushing? Would you like this to be before or after Lorraine enters? just, just out of
I was
the
assuming
out
it
of
was
character.
after, so
Okay, all right.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
as
go
you
after.
want.
Doesn't really look like we're going to have time for that.
Right.
Are
Cool.
you here to
Oh,
help with escorting her away from Paradise Peak?
I as you might
Right.
conspiracy and
Mhm.
stuff. Um, and I was told that she had a strong connection with them, and I was supposed to stop anything from them in case she got out of control. I don't know if I can though. She looks way more powerful than me, and I'm not just saying that because I think I'm incompetent. I actually had a lot of help with my sponsor, helping me with my uh, issues regarding competency and confidence. And holy shit, what is that woman doing there? She looks out and notices Lauren for the first time. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Are they
saying.
supposed to be here? There's no people here?
Take a breath, Lorraine. Or Ezra.
What?
Take a breath, it's just Lornadine.
What do you mean it's just Lauren? Who's Lauren?
Hmm. Someone up to no good, I think.
Why are you so calm?
I mean, I've experienced some pretty intense things recently. And nothing's started yet, so.
Hey, I guess we just watch and wait then. Should we do anything?
What are you or the rest of these people here for? They sort of put together an A team to control this woman?
Um, and you see she kind of turns, and Lisa kind of smiles. She also seems to have a more calm demeanor. If you remember, she was one of the higher ranking members of the actual vassalship exam.
Hmm.
And she goes, I am. We are all brought here for various different reasons, but we, similar to your group, uh, function in a. Uh, we're a traveling band at the moment. Not an official guild or party, but we heard Arza was being brought here for her use of spiritual and occult powers, and we wanted to make sure she had proper protection. As for the other two, I have no idea.
Hmm.
But nice to see familiar faces again. Hello, Memif. Been a while.
Hello.
And on the other side of the glass, the rest of you, Kipley and Duradon, you land in an unexpected environment. You were not told where you were going, nor does this look like the space that you were envisioning when you were signing up for this mission. However, Duradon, you don't recognize the woman that's standing in front of you. As even if you were given a debunk slash debriefing, excuse me, on the party's previous encounters and missions, uh, official guild lore documents would not have a report of Evelyn Gray meeting the Six. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think any of the Six would have shared the information about Evelyn Gray with you. So this is just a random woman in a room right now. Although Kipley, you're very familiar with her, as you had one of your prouder moments of not being afraid when she transformed into a monster in front of you. One of the only times in this entire campaign where Kipley didn't fail a wisdom saving throw.
All right now.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. Oh, at that time, that's the truth, but you've
It
done well since
was.
then. But you can see in this moment almost kind of a Mexican standoff style. All of the current sponsors and individuals on the other side of the room stare with both interest, curiosity, but mainly intent. Uh, Either act upon whatever happens next, uh, but also not immediately moving forward. Third on, go ahead. I'm going to ask you to make me an insight check. This isn't against one person in particular. This is you being able to through.
Insight. That is
Check.
only a 19.
Wait for a moment. What the fuck am I hearing this from? Oh, there we go. I had a random tab open. I apologize. I had a random tab open that started playing an ad. So I just
Oh.
started hearing a Tide commercial. And I just started rapidly freaking the fuck out. It's like, what the fuck? Are they in the room with me? What'd you roll? 19. Fantastic. Okay.
19.
To your current understanding, you don't know who the person is. As Evelyn Gray is still a question mark to you. You're well aware of the sponsors that sit on the opposite side of you. You're not close friends or even acquaintances with them. You just know them by their name, titles, and ranks. However, you, in this moment, you know Lorna Dane's a powerful woman, but you also know, to your current understanding of what she can do, which, again, up in the air of the equivalent, is that she's not exactly an archmage, she's just a powerful mage. And she just infiltrated into a council, either run, sanctioned, or located on Paradise Peak room slash holding cell. As this does look like some sort of facility. However, you are confused, even though it's only been seconds since you arrived, as to why they are not acting in one way or another, in either threatening her, moving forward against her, or casting, preparing, or activating any spells or abilities. Until you look at the woman in front of you, Evelyn Gray, which you, again, are unfamiliar with. However, you recognize that it is because of her that no one's moving. You see Lauren Dane does not seem stressed in the slightest. Calm, relaxed posture, smile on the face. The same look that she had when she first saw you. You noticed Kira's nervous. You can't really tell between the mask and the cloak, full body cloak, excuse me, about Kipley. But you can see plain as day on the sponsors' faces. There is an air of concern for what happens next. And you also understand that this, in the case of hunting terms, is like a tiger walked into a lion's den, and now they're just waiting to see who bites first. However, all that being said, you two do anything or also ask anything, because do remember, at least for the moment, you are under Rory's telepathic bond, which means that you can communicate seamlessly between each other Lordaine Newman, and Kira Dambala.
And we just see the sponsors at the end of their room. We don't see our people through.
You cannot.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though you do have your goggles on at the moment, because there's slits that you can see from the mask. That would be terrible if you couldn't. So it is kind of like a very obscured line of sight for you. You specifically can tell, Kipley, without even having to roll a perception check, each of these pillars on the side of the room holds warding magic, specifically abjuration. And the entire floor, ceiling, walls, everything here is reinforced. Again, you cannot tell the spells. That would take time for you to decipher what type of magic it is. But you can see this entire room is basically like, for you, it's the version of kind of staring into a flashlight with infrared goggles on. It's just blinding.
She just kind of ducks her head down a bit, kind of squints. She's not going to say anything because she's nervous, but like Lorna Dane told that not to do anything until she said something.
Duradon, anything?
Duradon just telepathically to everyone, specifically Lorna Dane, we'll say, nice sponsors. That's great. What's the plan?
Oh dear, don't worry. This is just a stop on the way. Don't do anything silly. However, you specifically, Duradon, you see that woman reach for her violin? Tackle her. Do not let her play a single note. Understood?
Got it. And Duradon will ask if he can step forward, or if he needs to stay in the spot he's in.
I would take the minimum amount of steps forward as possible.
Wait, I know this woman.
Uh-huh. I'm well aware of your connection to her.
We are not here to hurt her, right?
On the contrary. As I said, this is a stop along the way. You're not the only job I'm taking right now. And she turns to you and gives you a quick smile before looking back forward towards the now anxiously waiting sponsors and Evelyn Gray, as no one has said a word since her arrival. And you can finally hear a loud on the other side of the room as you see Carter Pinstrom step forward. The large, 9-foot-tall Warforged behind him, flanking against the tile floor with the steel, what would normally be cracking through it. But with his knowledge, you see that the reinforced tiles do not shatter under the weight of what you assume to be at least 600, maybe 700 pounds of metal. Carter Pinstrom steps forward and goes, Miss Newman, I don't wish to cause any problems or be rude here, but we are currently in the middle of something right now. So if you could be a dear and leave the same way that you came in, now would be the time to do that. We do not wish to cause problems here, nor do we wish to have your influence within this room. We are currently having a meeting, and I don't think you're invited. See, Laura Dane smiles and takes a step forward, and you can see one, just her index finger beckon Duradon to take a step forward with her. She goes, Oh, Carter, Carter, please. I'm not here for you. No, 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 no. I don't have time for such small things. I have a very busy schedule. In fact, I need to go rob somebody in about 10 minutes. So I need your cooperation just as much as you need mine. And plus, I really don't think you would like to do anything that could upset the temperament of this room even more than it already is. It's like somebody died in here. My goodness. If we could please all settle down. Have a nice conversation. You can see the other two step forward. Layla Salir, Mammoth sponsor, you can see begins to pull what looks like to be a length of chain with a small blade on the very base of it, kind of settling into the palm of her hand and just letting it dangle. You can see Belle Estelle take a step forward, the tail swishing back and forth. You can see her eyes staring daggers, not just at Lorna Dane, but looking around the rest of you and landing on Kira. And you can see she hovers on Kira for a very long time, quickly and third on. Your passive insights, you are unsure as to why and or if he is currently seeing past illusions. But after a few moments, Evelyn Gray speaks up and goes, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused here. What is going on? And you can see she nervously begins to take a step back towards the wall, kind of looking back and forth between the two parties, unsure of who to trust at this moment. And Lorna Dane smiles and takes another step forward. My darling Evelyn Gray, you are quite the name out on the chaotic seas of Eris. I am so sorry we haven't had the pleasure of meeting face to face yet. We did have a cross encounter. I don't know if you remember this, but 20 years ago, you were on the island of Durrell. You were facing a small group of local rebel pirates. They ransacked your ship. You killed the majority of them, but a random fireball happened to torch their main galleon and leave it in inoperable conditions to chase you after you escaped from the remainder of their not so happy crew. You're welcome for that, by the way. Free of charge, I just happened to see a fellow talented soul in need, and I was too busy to stop and have a conversation. But does that still serve your memory correct? See, she blinks a few times, trying to remember. Perhaps, but why are you here right now? Right now, I am here to free you. These people, who I'm sure you're very familiar with, the Council of 11, 3 days ago, came to an agreement to lock you on the cell at the wall, which I'm pretty sure you're very, very understanding of, as both you and I know. We know people who are currently inside of the wall, and also know that it is very far away from here. So I was hired by a certain someone who wishes to not see you in chains, to get you out of here. Now, I will say, I don't wish to cause any problems. If you would like to go with them, by all means, I don't want to cause you any unjust harm, stress, or anything that is currently outside your comfort. However, I don't think they want the same for you. The room very quickly shifts between the sponsors looking curious and concerned to Duradon, you notice all of them go from the facial expression of analyzing to preparing. Subtly, you can see some of their hands moving towards items. You can see claws slowly beginning to almost protrude out of the fingernails of Ballastel. And while there is no words being said, there's clearly an understanding between a group of powerful individuals that in no way, shape, or form is this to be even played with as an idea. On the opposite side of the glass, just because you can see their backs, Reese and Mammoth, both of you can see that while it is not visible to the eyes of those looking at him, Carter Binstrom's right arm has almost like a protrusion on the back of it that kind of looks like it looks cosmetic at first. But you can both see as he very subtly begins to move it to his side so that it is not currently visible from those who are looking at him, that it begins to extend outward, almost like slowly popping out of his arm. And Reese, you're actually quite familiar with this type of item, as false prostheses often come with various different weapons that can hide inside them. You yourself had your bone wand, aka your finger of almost, built into your own necrosis, your necrotic arm that you used. You can see a barrel slowly beginning to form and attach itself into what looks like some sort of either rifle or just really large firearm. The rest of you, Kipney and Duradon, you see that Evelyn Gray is now visibly sweating. A moment of almost forced silence comes over the chamber as now all eyes fall to her and how she reacts to the previous information that had been given. She looks back and forth between the two groups. And you can see the sponsors all together take a step forward, and you can hear Belle speak up for the first time. Go, listen, I don't know what you're trying to pull here. I don't know what this is. But she is not going anywhere with you. Council has not decided shit. I don't know what source your information came from. It is as reliable as your title as Archmage. I think there are many questions still to be had. I'm going to give you one more and then back the fuck off. If we have to have a problem within here, I have no doubt within my mind. You and whatever excuses of lackeys you have brought with you today will not leave this chamber in one piece. Although we do not wish to kill you, I am sure my father would love to have you brought to him in chains for what you previously did. And you see, as she says that, almost like an animal noticing a camera in the zoo, or some type of just 1,000-yard stare setting in over someone, and then immediately being shocked when somebody says something and catches them off guard. Her attention immediately flashes to Duradon, and you can see her breathing becomes heavy. Her eyes alight for a moment. You can see she's not looking at you, Duradon. You have a passive perception of 23. She's looking at what you're holding. How did you get- She looks towards Leonardane. Why do you have that blade? And Evelyn at this point takes another step back towards the wall and goes, is there that going on right now? I don't. Please, both of you, conflict is not smart between me. I simply came here to hear out the council and their wishes describing what happened with the island of mimics. I don't wish for conflict to arise. I cannot guarantee anyone's safety if I am brought up in the middle of this. Why don't we calm down and hear one another out? See as Laura Day takes another step forward, and the sponsors take another step. Darling, I wish nothing but the sword. Ask away any questions that you have. I simply want to tell you the truth. Meanwhile, these fine individuals before you. Oh, excuse me. I almost called them fine individuals. These lying sacks of shit before you only wish to lie, imprison, and basically take away any human rights. In fact, I have brought you here. And she looks back towards the two of you. These fine individuals, who I will not name, as all of those who work under me have my protection until our contract is finished, deserve to hear some information about the council. Specifically, you three lovely individuals, I think, actually hold a lot more deeper connections to this young woman here, and also to some very important events recently that occurred on Paradise Peak. And you can see Estelle immediately kind of gives both a low, almost bark / growl that can be interpreted as far more draconic than beast-like, but just sneers and cuts her off and goes, I would be very careful about your next words, mage. Do not think to look across this distance twice your throat before you can cast a single incantation. And you see Laura Dane smile. I'm shivering. And you watch as in a quick burst of movement, Lordain immediately, almost in faster than most eyes can perceive, to the point of which, who here between Reese, Mammoth, Kipley, and Durdan, I know Durdan does, has a passive perception above? Do any
Sorry,
of you have a 20 or above?
Oh, no.
Mammoth?
20.
No, I don't.
None of you actually can see what happened. Durdan, in the brief moments before Lordane vanishes and reappears, you hear in your head, slowly walk up to us. And you can actually notice, because this ability does require a passive perception of 20 or above to even have insight to understand what happens. And Ryan is going to laugh at this. You see that while this is a clean-cut room, that there is some debris scattered across the floor. Minor in detail. You would have to pay attention very carefully and look out for it to notice. And in the moment's hesitation of the sponsors, and in the instant almost appearance of Lauren Day Newman with no actual footfalls between her and the current position she's in. You would assume some type of teleportation until you hear a slight scattering right next to right next to your feet, excuse me, of where she once just stood. Now I'm gonna break briefly from the scene because this was so very funny to me. When about 2 months ago at this point, Ryan jokingly sent me a request in our private channel asking me about a 7th level item ability based off of a show called Jujutsu Kaisen, in which we both watch, we both love. Dirdon, Jared knows as well. One of the abilities is most well and loved within the show is the ability to switch places with another creature and or object within range. And I told you no for the moment, and that I would explain it to you later. It's because I don't like giving copies of abilities when high-level creatures, whether enemies or allies, are already in possession of them. As you can see, she switches places with this stone Dirdon. The others within this room, without a clue, you are unsure which the sponsors are aware of the same situation. But she appears next to Evelyn Gray and puts her arm around her. And instantly, everyone freezes. You can see she smiles and looks back to see if you approach.
He's slowly approaching.
As you walk up, Gibble, you do hear a voice in your head. Stay where you are. And just in case, be ready to redirect a spell for me, dear. This can be a lovely test for you. You watch and hear as she looks towards the sponsors, blatantly putting her arm around Evelyn Gray, turning her to face them, and goes, Evelyn, my dear, you are someone who I hold in the highest of respect. See, we are both orphans who were given nothing in this world and made something out of a terrible situation. However, don't you think you should know who you are dealing with here? It is only fair that those who would try and imprison you would also have their own histories revealed. And she kind of turns, and her face is inches from Evelyn's. She is closely hugging her arm around her, and you can tell this is not a friendly hug. This is borderline grappling, and you're unsure of whether it is threatening her or threatening the sponsors in the moment by doing this. And she looks towards you all and goes, Carter Binstrom, the man I love to hate. You are part of the Artificial Arcane Division. Paradise Peak, is that correct? And you can see his face slightly, not twitch, but tighten. Clenching of jaw, eyes narrowing, clearly trying to understand the situation better. Trying to think of something to do. Yes, Leona Dane, you know my position, as does Miss Gray. What is your point? And please make this swift. Right, no, I do not want to waste anyone's time here. I just wanted to bring up a question to the room. It's come to my attention that your companion there, Project Thaddeus, lovely name by the way, fantastic, exquisite technology. You built a being that is both sentient, follows commands, and copies the art of druidry. Is that correct? Yes. I'm not going to question how you know this, but yes. Wonderful. Well, could you call out Mammoth?
Mm,
I know he is somewhere. And I think I want him in the room when I ask you this next question. Otherwise, this conversation is coming to a standstill, and in your head, Durdon, you hear, don't move it. Change your weapon into something a little more menacing.
He said nothing but a word. Yeah.
I ain't got no other reason. What do you make Irma?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Herma becomes my new current favorite blade. So it starts off as a double-sided scimitar.
Okay.
Elven weapon. We all know
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But instead of being two-handed, what ends up happening is it's melded and forced. Instead of it being like a shaft weapon, the handle kind of flips, and it's like the scimitars curve out and meet at the tip once again, and they lengthen, um, and kind of utilizing a bit of kind of like manipulation, with the carbonate as well. They expand, and it almost becomes like a one-handed great sword, with these insanely thin and sharp blade.
You can see as the weapon carbonates, crystallizes, and becomes this, again, already menacing black stone blade, now enlarging and one-handing a great sword. Definitely gets the attention of the room. You can see Evelyn Gray looks a little more nervous. And the sponsors, while they don't look threatened, move their eyes briefly over towards you as you approach Evelyn Gray, and just without a word said out loud, again, kind of look at each other. And you can see Layla Salier slowly takes a few steps back. And after about 20 seconds of just her moving slowly backward, she just knocks on the door and opens it. And Reese, Mammoth, all the rest of the vassals within just kind of she goes slow turn to look at her, and she goes, Mammoth, dear, do you mind stepping outside?
Do I thought this was like a glass wall, but if I can, then yeah, I'll step out.
So you're in an observation room at the moment. So you can see within them, like into the room, but there is still an obvious door that is
Okay.
built in. To anyone inside the room, it would look like it leads into a hallway, but it also connects to the observation.
Okay, yeah, I'll step out.
So you step out into the doorway where it is visible.
Mhm.
And Durdon Kipley, this is your first notice and or understanding that there are others of your group here. And you can go ahead and just drag yourself onto the map next to Layla if you want, or if you want to put yourself anywhere behind the sponsors, feel free to do so. And you see Lornadane kind of gives you a big smile as you walk out. Wonderful. Fantastic. Apologies, my dear boy, if you are confused. about how you are involved in the situation or how you know me or anyone else related here. Uh, I just wanted you to hear this out loud as long as some of the others in the room, as well as some of the others in the room, excuse me. Connor Binstrom, how did you teach a non-living organism how to wild shape? To pause. I simply looked into druid folklore, studied the Goshari tribes, and I tried to end. You see, Lord then cuts off. Goes no 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 no. And she squeezes Evelyn Gray almost face to face with her, to the point where there's less than an inch between her being held against Lorna Dane. No 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 no. Lying's not going to do very good in this room, especially as we're trying to be all honest, civil, and walk out of this in one piece, as you said. How did you make him wild shape? How'd you come across the knowledge? And where did you find the knowledge? Specifically. I already know the answer, but me saying it's not going to help this poor child understand. And you can see Kipley, Duradon, Reese. Carter briefly glances over at Mammoth before looking back. I do not have to put up with this. I don't know what you're trying to get at here, or what game you're playing. But the last time, let her go. Enrisha almost has requested a small break. Yeah, sure. Do you need to take a break, Kate?
Yeah, just 5 or 10 minutes, please.
Yeah, no worries.
I don't want to miss that much.
For sure. You can go ahead and take a 5-minute break as he's about
Oh,
to open
gosh.
his mouth.
Okay,
Pause.
sorry guys. Sorry guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're good. Okay.
Sorry
Yeah,
about
no
that,
worries.
E. Don't worry, buddy. Oh, I can't do that because he's actually Canadian. Fuck. No, it's insensitive. Oh. But yeah, Ryan, I hope you know why I turned it down so quickly. Because while if you genuinely want something similar to Boogie Woogie, something can be done. But giving you close to
Where did you go? Dominican Republic? Ooh. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think
Present.
so.
Fantastic. Caitlin, you're back, right? You're Gooch?
I'm here.
Hell yeah. Enjoying late night snack. Okay. Anyway. All right. Picking back up where we left off. A line was about to be said. A question regarding how a construct could wild shape and how Carter Binstrom attained this. Mammoth was called into the room, unbeknownst to himself, related somehow to this. And as Lorna Dane Newman opens her mouth, Mustang.
Yep.
We go back to you.
Oh man. I want to know what
a
happens next.
tease.
I know. Again, he did it again.
You wake up, lying in a familiar setting. However, something's changed. The large, almost never-ending expanse of desert before you. The blaring sun. You don't have a name for this place, but you know it is the same place that you visited back on Portcliff. Back when you were closest to death than you have been in a very long time. Back when your memories were slowly beginning to leak back in. You sit up from the sand on top of a dune. There's no mirrors, you don't see a mirage, no lakes. Just expansive sand as far as the eye can see. And sitting within this heat, your natural body temperature, which would kill most normal humanoids, continues to rise. Like a fever beginning to swell. And you can just feel this almost itch begin to crawl through your body. Something that's unfamiliar to you. Again, you have human sensations to an extent. But you don't necessarily have the sensation of touch in the same way humanoids do. You can tell when you are existing in the same space as something else, but you lack the nerve endings and the capability to process that information, to understand, and to have the complex notion of touch and substance. Which would include having an itch on your skin. But in this moment, you feel the closest thing that you could possibly relate to is having an itch. And it begins to burn its way up from your chest into your right arm and beginning to cause your right hand to almost spaz. You can see it go from a cloud of smoke back into the condensed coal-like body over and over and over again, just fluctuating. And that's when you begin to see condensation falling onto the ground. Almost black ichor. Can't quite tell what it is right away. But as you begin to come back into consciousness and mind and recognize of what happening and where you are, What is Mustang's initial reactions or thoughts?
He's going to try and grab at this ichor. It's very unusual for parts of him to go down and not up. And try and figure out what it is.
You look down, kind of bending towards the sand, and you see another drop fall. And another. And another. Until almost like a flash flood. A blanket of black looking ichor drops from the sky and covers the desert. You can see the dune that you stand on turns from a almost crimson based yellow like sand into a complete blanket. This almost oil like substance. You reach down and put your hand into it, and you can feel your body, your clothes being covered. This almost freezing cold liquid begins to sizzle off your skin, immediately evaporating. And as you reach down into the ground to feel more of it, similar, it escapes your touch, almost like avoiding, no, rejecting your touch. As it washes over you, that feeling of being watched, of nervousness, and the fever all begin to intensify. For the first time in a long time, without reason to, you suddenly feel a sense of impending doom. The very same feeling that you saw in that memory where that man got crushed. And as you look around, you can see the now blackened sky begins to almost move down towards you. Dark clouds descending. What does Mustang do? If anything.
You said he felt like he was being watched again.
Mm-hmm. You feel that notion, the idea that you are being watched is almost intensified.
Is there any sense of direction where this gaze may be coming from, or
Not that you can currently tell.
does it feel familiar in any way, shape, or form?
In this moment, certainly not. It is more ominous than familiar.
Huh? At this point, he's pretty sick of what feels like being a prisoner of his own mind and his own body. And so, covered in this terrible goo, he looks around and he looks to the sky and he just starts to shout, "Face me, coward! It's easy to hide in the corners of whatever this is, but face me! I'm sick of this cat and mouse."
You shout out, you can see your hand still breaking between solid matter and their smoky substance, begins to quiver even more. And almost responding to the cry, to the challenge, you can see the clouds moving down begin to quicken their pace, moving faster, condensing. That's when you notice they're not clouds. As you look up and see a swarm of thousands upon thousands of ravens. Their caws beginning to come in almost as if a response to the challenge. A deafening screech, almost echoing in this expansive space. And you can see as they begin to reach their claws out towards you and see their beaks sharp, almost glistening like steel, their talons unnaturally long, the wings far too large of a wingspan to be a normal sized crow, raven, anything of the sort. And all of the feathers matte black but dripping, as that black ichor continues to leak off of them as they descend down towards you. Your hand that is shaking, that itch begins to become overwhelming. Point where it cannot be ignored. It's not the point of scratching it. It's not the need for relief. It is a response that is coded within your very soul. As you find yourself reaching for your holster, the hand materializing once more, grabbing the prime Monica and pointing it towards the sky. As the ravens descend downward, now beginning to spiral into a not as much cloud, almost this unceremonious cluster of them fighting one another, trying to get closer to you, to be the first one to dive down into you. As they all descend, the gun pointed towards the sky. You hear the voice in your head again. Well, John, it has been quite some time. You want me to take care of it for you? You feel that itch at its apex. And you realize where it is most condensed at. Right at the firing pin. Waiting to pull the trigger. Almost like your body's begging. What do you say, Strones? That's what we'll all deal with. Storms coming. You know, I
What
took care of you
are
before.
you?
You and I both know we ain't got time for that right now. You want to sit around, have a cup of tea, and enjoy some nice conversation, you come the wrong place. Only reason you're here is because you need me. You know deep down you did. Give the word, John.
That's not my name. I don't know who that is. And I'll do this
The
my way.
ravens are about 60 feet away. You have seconds. Is that your response?
Yes.
All right, John. Just know, whatever happens next is on you. Have fun playing with Bert. 30 feet. 15 feet. What is Mustang doing?
He's standing at the ready, aiming the Primonica. He doesn't trust whatever this thing is, and if this is how it happens, this is how it happens, but at least he did it his way, not at the behest of some mysterious, murderous creature.
15 feet. You have now a singular action reaction, if you like to take it. And you can tell without a doubt there's about to be hundreds of crows at once, ravens at once, all attack, all rushing towards you, talons extended, beaks in a nosedive. Despite the fever, despite the ominous sense and shaking, you are in control. What would you like to do? Do you hold your ground? Do you fire? Do you do nothing?
I think in true Mustang fashion, he'll go out with a fireball.
Fireball. Wonderful choice. Go ahead, if you will. What level are you casting it at?
Oh, we'll just it'll keep it at third level.
Third level? Okay. Go ahead and roll me the 86.
Ooh. 26.
26 points of fire damage? Wonderful. Doug. Can you please, if you will, make me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh.
7. Oh, Doug. Here's what happened. As you scout out the next room, you hear a large thud. Sudden sound come from Mustang's room. Do you rush over to check?
Yes.
As you burst open the door, you can see the windows are open, the shutters are blown asunder, and crawling into the room is a figure on all four, almost like the most disturbing monster you have ever seen. And you make brief eye contact with it. As you look down towards Mustang lying on the floor, you can see the floor itself is singed, and small parts of it is slowly beginning to catch fire as he is rolling in pain. And the strange ichor is leaking out from onto sizzling on touching the fine wood that is beneath you. The last thing that Doug sees is as Mustang shouts out from this strange state, "I'll do this my own way." And you watch as a mote of flame begins to spark within his hand. And not just a line, but the entire room. A flash of sparking white that dances before your eye. You watch. In an instant, everything, your life, the exam, your friend, all of it flashes before your eyes. Doug, have any last words?
No.
Oh man.
Mustang. You awake on the floor of your bedroom, and in front of you, you see the unrecognizable skeleton, charred, blackened, lack of any items, equipment, skin, flesh, all of it burnt asunder. As it collapses to the floor dead, you hear a voice behind you as you turn, and you see a skeletal figure. This one, a burning light within its eye. Purple smoke leaking out from its form. Not too unsimilar from yours, but different. You see, there is a base to this creature. You can see parts of a skeletal face and hand. However, similar to you, its entire body is covered in a fine layer of purple and black mist. And you see dragging behind it through the window with a loud burst and thud as it comes onto the floor. You see a coffin.
Oh.
Mustang strums. The fates, the divine, the weave. The free, who manages all life on this planet, on this world, on this plane, has sentenced you to death. I take much pleasure in this. It will be swift, just like your friends was.
And you see as it slowly begins to approach, dragging the coffin from behind it. Wicked smile. What does Mustang do?
How long do I have to react?
Just now. You were waking up from a state of stun and seeing your recently new acquaintance be murdered by your own hand. So you can you have an action now if you'd like.
Okay.
Turn, if you will.
Turn.
But you see this creature is only a couple of feet away from you. 6 at most. The room's not that large. It's only 15 by 15 feet.
How far away? No, that wouldn't be a good idea.
Chop.
Okay, I think we're gonna cast Dimension Door.
Legend door.
And we are not going to go outside the establishment. We are going to go downstairs. Just the Dimension Door downstairs.
Dimension
For me,
door
myself, and I.
downstairs to. Are you gonna try and just land in front of the bar?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a straight D20. It's gonna be a straight luck check.
Okay. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Well, before you burn anything, what'd you get?
A 2.
A 2. Okay. You might want to burn your inspiration.
Yeah.
I was gonna say anything beneath a 5 or lower, you're gonna get shunted through the floor because as you trying to guesstimate how many feet accurately you're going down.
An 8.
Okay, well that is more. That's
more than 5.
more than you needed. More than 5. So you don't go into the soil beneath and take force damage as you get shunted up. Instead, you are thrown onto the chair, onto one of the bar stools. As you fall onto it and collapse onto the ground, kind of heavily breathing, still feeling that feverish burn within you. And you can see as you land, as you contact against the wood, you immediately hear sizzling. And you look down, you can see you are leaving marks wherever you go.
Oh, man. The barkeep, I forget his name. Is he there?
Wendell. Yeah. You look, and Wendell is currently there. He has the blunderbuss kind of pressed against his chest to one side, and is currently aiming it just outwardly at the staircase above. But as you slam down, he quickly turns it on you for immediately pointing the barrel away as he recognizes you. Are you right, lad? Where's the enemy? Where's Doug?
Forget about Doug. Call the guards. Something's here. Whatever it is. It's upstairs and it's coming, and we're gonna need backup.
As you say that, you watch as, not coming down the stairs, in similar fashion to a man made of smoke, you watch as a pair of boots leaks through the roof and the skeletal figure drops through the ceiling right next to you.
Do love a chase. Go on, boy. Run.
Mustang too.
He's gonna look over at the. What did you say his name was again? So he keeps going
Wendell.
one ear and out the other.
It's Gwendol.
Wendell? Okay.
I-
He's gonna
I'll-
kind of side eye over at Wendell. See what he's looking like.
I want to give you guys a reminder. Gwendol is an adorable, jolly little fellow. Reply. Gwendol is strapped. There you go. I replied to in-game visuals for those who
Oh.
are curious about what the image looks like, and also his full name, because Dom thought it'd be good to make a last name called Bumston. Anyway, the
Wendell, you shouldn't be here.
Gwendol is shakily aiming the blunderbuss at the creature. Has not pulled the trigger yet. As you look at him, you see he makes no eye contact to meet your gaze. He is just staring in fear at this creature. And
Well, now that Wendell's involved, he's gonna stand his ground.
You're gonna try to fight?
Yeah. That's all there's left to do. It seems like this guy's very good at chasing, so.
As you go to get off the ground, you see Skeleton looks up and dropping through the roof as well, the coffin, with a large thud impacts next to him. And he smiles and grins and looks at you.
We have a fighter then. It's a shame. A creature like you would have been so fun to hunt. But now you die so soon. Are you prepared to die, Mustang Strums? Are you prepared to die, John?
And as it rushes to meet you, we go back over to the boat.
Oh, he said the thing again.
I'm an asshole, and I love it so much. Back on the boat. See, Lorna Day Newman looks at Carter Binstrom.
We're on a boat?
Maybe.
You did say we were on a sky swimmer.
To be fair, I did. I didn't say you're on Skyswimmer. I did say that Reese recognized the architecture of the potential dweller holding cell.
Oh,
Didn't
right,
say you
right,
were
you
on
did.
one. But Freudian slip every now and then.
Sorry, I'll ignore it. I'll forget it.
no,
2 seconds.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. You see Lord Newman smiles and looks over and goes, "Please do be honest in these trying times. I would hate, absolutely loathe, the idea of something happening here. I mean, think about it. The loss of 3 lovely sponsors. Destruction of your lovely vessel. There you go. And we would not want to bring Miss Gray into any of this. No, no, no. So do be honest, Carter. How did you obtain the knowledge of wild shapes?" You can see jaw clenched, looks around the room. You see the other sponsors look towards him, kind of curious as well, still keeping the majority of their attention on both now Durdon with the coated black blade and Laura Dane, who's holding Evelyn Gray.
What do you gain out of it? What is your grand plan? Oh, no, 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 no. Dearest of mine. I don't want any of that. Be very careful what next words leave your lips. My grip might slip. And my companion here is a bit of a hothead. I can't exactly control every move that he makes. She gestures towards Duradon with a head nod. Please, also, what's the problem with sharing secrets between friends? I think he deserves to know, Martin. The room's silent. Fine. He's going to be like that. I tell you, you release Miss Gray? Oh, but of course. Miss Gray is free to leave my loving embrace whenever she feels fit. But I just need to make sure you're not going to harm anyone here, including myself, my companions, and her. Carter looks over towards you, Mammoth, before looking back at the others and saying, Fine, fine. One of my scouts reported back to me saying that we had discovered burial sites on an island a few weeks' travel from Paradise Peak. That was believed to be a grove. So I simply asked for them to collect any samples they could find of the history of said tribe and bring it back to me for study. As druids are extraordinarily rare. And they brought back a few relics. Including some bottles. It already passed on to their next life. I was simply using it to try and improve our society and to keep on the lineage of druidry. You understand? There's only so few many left of you, and I simply want to. Oh, no, 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 dear. It is not what we're here for. You can make excuses at another time. Tell him the truth. Do it. Do it right now. I used their bodies when building the skeleton of Thaddeus. And I reanimated a few of them to see if they could continue their wild shape past death. Oh, dearie me. Using druids' playthings, are we? Sacred soul of nature and all that. I feel like you're dancing around this line on purpose. I'm starting to lose my patience, and I think you're not seeing this as a real threat. In your head, do it on. Hold the blade Evelyn's neck, would you?
Just the
Duradon
silence.
steps Duradon steps to this side, and because one of the properties I added to it is reach,
You reach it from there?
it does reach from there
Fantastic.
to her throat.
Smart move. You hold it out, And you can see everyone in the room gets a little more tense, including Evelyn, as she looks around, now eyes darting. What was a sense of brief calm as more talking began to break out is now panic, as it seems conflict is becoming more and more likely. Finished story, Carter? We also found a few artifacts, of which we pulled from a temple. At least from the reports, I was not personally involved with any of these, but it was said after they removed said artifacts from the island, it sank and killed any remainder, those who are still on the island. Now, we didn't know anyone else was living there at the time. They did not find any bodies. It is simply mocked up to, oh, dearie me. Excuses again in a time like this. Shameful, isn't it? How a council of trusted individuals says they take care of the citizens of Paradise Peak and offer peace to those from outside of it. Dear, why did you come to Paradise Peak?
Who is she talking to?
You. She asked why you came to Paradise Peak.
Oh. Well, my island sank, and I just kind of appeared here on a dweller.
Oh.
Right. And could you tell me, dear, in terms of class classification, what are you?
I've been told I'm a druid.
And you see a twisted smile crosses her face as she looks towards Carter Benstrom. And you know, you all called me a monster for sinking an island. You took this child's home from him. You took his parents from him. You killed off probably dozens, maybe more, of druids so you could create an artificial one.
No, it was just me.
Oh no, dear. It wasn't.
Hmm.
Now, thank you for your honesty, Carter. Makes this next part a whole lot easier. Layla Salir. Darling, how are you? It's been too long. Last time I saw you... What was it? Right, you were still mortal. How's the everlasting life treatment going for you? No response. What? Oh, do you not want to share for a group amongst friends? How the great Layla Salir, an unawakened civilian, became a council member. I think it's only right. I mean, we're all sharing things, right? I killed a bunch of people on an island. He killed a bunch of people on an island. You killed, oh, how many was it? 500? No, sorry, that was your husband's number, wasn't it?
What was his name again? Right.
She taps her head a few times.
How can I forget? Vander, wasn't it? How would the rest of the world react if they found out one of the council members used to be married to a lich? Not only that, they helped turn the husband into a lich by killing, what was it, a couple dozen islands, natives, Roman tribe, a few pirates, rebels, heralds, even every now and then. You must have killed more than me, and I've killed a lot of people. No response? Come on now.
And Dirt on Kipple, you can just see her doing a 1,000-yard stare, not making contact with anybody. Alistair, I don't need to air out any of your business. What happens between you and killing off that Dambala girl, completely on you. Oh! Ooh. Said out loud. Are you gonna turn into a dragon and kill me? A long pause. I don't know what you're trying to get, lady. But now you have solidified your death. We're not leaving this room. Miss Gray, please step aside. Evelyn looks nervously back and forth. Now slightly pulling to get away from Lauren Dane, but you can see her hand now grasping Gray's shoulder with an intensity. But we're just simply sharing. I mean, you want to lock excuse me, the wall, a prison in which people normally die in after what, a week, 2 weeks? You sent a few of my friends there. You sent a few of her friends. And the wall won't even protect her against the monarch of mimics, the real problem behind this. The council is too pansy to deal with the root of problems nowadays. You would rather kill off your own people, kill off endangered species, let's be real. Those of true kind barely considered people anymore because there's so few of them. You make them outcasts of society. Yes, of course, you know. You kill a bunch of people to stay eternally young and not die. Just so you can what, become a council member forever? What's the purpose of having all of this power, and yet you change nothing? You enact nothing. I'm gonna offer Miss Gray a door out. If any of you disagree with that option to have a woman of her caliber walk free within the world, by all means, step up.
Mammoth is gonna raise his hand.
In the dead silence, intense moment, small druid child raises his hand. You can see a few people don't turn their full attention to you, but kind of give you a side glance, a brief look.
I was supposed to make sure that that wasn't what happened.
Oh. They brought
Yeah, I
you
don't really
here
know.
to make sure that she doesn't go free.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Does that sound right?
Well, no,
Put somebody in prison for doing nothing wrong.
no, that's not what I meant.
That's what's happening, dear, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, sponsors.
I think there's more to it than that. And I think you know that too.
There's always more to it, darling. There's always going to be more than said out loud, clearly. Your own leaders keeping secrets from their vassals, from the people of Paradise Peak, simply to protect themselves. But you don't even want to protect an innocent woman. Someone who's done nothing wrong, yet you try and forsake her and put her in prison. Shameful, isn't it?
I don't think I was trying to put her in prison. I just think we were supposed to talk to her and ask her to move so that she'd
Darling, you
island.
weren't. You're a cog in the machine. They wouldn't tell you the real purpose. You want to bring Evelyn Grey to the wall, have her exiled, and eventually killed. Please, by all means. And you watch as Lardane reaches out and grabs onto the sword Durdon. In the very moment her finger touches it, you feel a rush similar to the first time when you picked up the blade of Sin and Stone. That adrenaline, that battle readiness surges through you. And also comes something you weren't expecting. Lornding grabs the staff and you are holding it. Sure, you can feel the power, the number of souls that she has killed using this blade far outnumber that of yours. A mere 26 kill in the terms of hundreds means nothing, but that power gap and unbalance is immediately met with flashbacks, brief glimpses, almost like going through a movie at 4 times the speed, only seeing every other scene. You see Lorna Dane wielding this blade, this staff, Spellbook, Clarence in the past. You see her alone in a dungeon, missing a leg, bleeding out to death. You see her in another scene, flying on the back of what appears to be a wyvern over a beautiful island, completely set in nature, not a single man-made structure to be seen, and then watching it sink and burn as it falls beneath the waves. You see her walking into buildings, the design of which you recognize. Orphanages, killing people who run it, bestowing gifts, and even awakening a few children. And you snap back to reality and realize the sword that you had in your hand is no longer crystallized as it shatters and now turns into one large black iron staff. Still see elements of the stone built into it, but the sheen of metal is undeniable. For a brief moment, While pulse emits from the staff. And you watch as a translucent film-like wall separates those between the sponsors and all of you, shimmering into existence. After the 6 seconds of casting time is over, she does not immediately let go of the staff. Instead, you can feel her grasping the other end with intensity. Do you try and pull it back to you?
Duradon first asks, "What are you doing?" You said 6 seconds, nothing more.
You said this out loud or in your head?
In my head, through the telepathic bond.
Just trying to make sure. Silence for a few seconds before she releases it and turns and smiles. And with Evelyn Gray still under her arm, begins to walk away. You watch as Carter Binstrom raises his arm the second that she turns, and you immediately begin to hear words, almost like the sound of an engine revving, however at much faster speeds. And you all see as roughly in the span of 6 seconds, as 12 different bullets leave the spinning barrel firearm that is now fully out and fully assembled, coming off of his right arm. And all the bullets hit the wall, simply stop dead in their tracks. She turns and smiles and goes, "Oh, dearie me, did you just try and kill me?" Tis, Carter. Right in front of a child. I guess you have killed children before, haven't you? Gives a faint smile, looks back towards Mammoth. I would start asking your questions, son.
Should I?
Value your future. Yes. And you watch as she begins to slowly, almost mockingly, draw out a teleportation circle. More or less, she used to bring you here was almost instantaneous. Both Kipley and Duradon know that. It was a 6-second cast time. You watch as she spends a minute charting out runes, coming to herself, and seeing as 3 sponsors sitting on the opposite side of this wall are unable to do absolutely nothing.
I think.
Hmm?
Kipley
You
will.
want to do something?
Reese is in the room now too. Then.
Unless Reese stepped through during this time, no.
She didn't. She's just been watching.
Okay.
You can only see Mammoth. At least for
Uh,
now.
Mm, never mind. Never mind.
You good? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Kipling. I
Wow.
was just going to come to you anyways.
Okay.
Go ahead if you please, because you were told to watch out to potentially redirect spells the entire time. Go ahead if you can. I'll give you advantage because you haven't been given any other orders or asked to do anything else during this time. Go ahead and make me a perception check with advantage.
Okay. Advantage perception.
Come on, make it. I believe. First roll in that. Do
18.
you want to keep it?
Mm, yeah.
All right. Here's what happens. This is
Huh.
very common play. You're not familiar with the spell, but you recognize the fact that this is some sort of barrier that keeps out any physical interactions from getting through. As you saw, bullets being stopped in the air, and you can also see it's a magic fucking wall. It's a spell. You got sight that tells you that. You can see during this time, as it appears this monster is doing nothing. You see Layla Salir begin retracting the chain, but she begins muttering something. Without words, you can see her simply moving her lips without making a sound. And you can see her beginning to weave symbols in the slightest noticeable way. And sadly, you pick up on this just a little too late.
Oh.
But in all fairness, you were given one job, and again, you have not asked to do anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a chance to catch it. Go ahead, if you can please, using the name that I totally didn't forget. It's so far up. The redirecting spell
Pulling strings.
specifically. Pulling strings, pulling threads. Thank you.
Okay.
It allows you to use your charisma modifier. You're going to be making that roll with disadvantage
Okay.
against Layla Salir,
Advantage,
as
charisma.
she is going to attempt to cast Disintegrate.
Oh boy. Come on, bitches.
Natural one. You do have inspiration.
I'm gonna
Like
use
you.
it.
I would suggest using that. Natural one, no matter what. It's
God damn it.
21. So you have a +5 in your charisma modifier. Charisma of 20. Layla Salir is unawakened. However, there is nowhere within the rules of my world, nor the PBE, that says that someone with the commoner stat block cannot attune to magical light. So with an intelligence 23, she gets a +6 to this roll. In addition, for magic items, one of which I'm not going to name, but it is similar to an arcane grimoire, grant her bonuses to her spell and spell modifier. Meaning that in total, she has a +9 to this roll. She simply has to roll a 12 or higher. All she does is get a single roll. 11 or lower, and you succeed. 12 or higher. That'd be a real bad day for you guys. There's a 27.
Bad day.
As Lorndane goes to finish the circle, and Evelyn Gray is now close to shaking and nervous, you watch as a beam of complete gray and almost semi following the patterns of the wall, almost a translucent shimmer covering this gray-like matter, shoots out, hits the wall, and a carpet, a almost dusting of ash, immediately begins to eat away at the wall in a matter of a second. You see, in less than the full second it takes for this wall to crumble, Belestelle takes a single step forward and already is on top of both Evelyn Gray and Lorndane Newman. Carter Binstrom goes to reload his gun. Layla Soler begins walking forward, and you watch as the large automaton in the back suddenly transforms into a much larger, and again, fully made out of steel, gorilla, giving similar looking aesthetics to a past Rupert. However, this looking a whole lot more deadly. And as they all rush towards you all, Mustang, go back to you.
Bait and switch.
I am an asshole.
You said it, Megan.
As you find yourself facing up against this unknown foe, I'm gonna have to ask you to roll initiative.
Wait.
Now, pardon me, because I did have a map for the Golden Cutlass, but it appears I have lost that map.
Oh.
We're going to reuse an older map that was initially used during the raid.
Ah,
It works.
here we are once again.
It's a tavern. It's close enough. It's not as fancy. There's no seaside, but hey, we just need wood. Go ahead, drag yourself right on down by the bar. Thank you for laughing. I'm gonna go ahead and drag the figure on that you won't be facing. Now, I don't have a token, I don't believe, of Gwendol. I will put a substitute on for now. However, this is what you're dealing with. As we roll for initiative, can you remind me what Mustang's passive perception is?
17, I believe. Confirm. Yeah, 17.
Oh, shit. You are looking like... Ah, well, unless you roll lower than a 5, you're going first, bud. What did you get, Mr. Shang?
Oh, I got a 23.
Woo, mama. Yeah, you definitely go first. Cool. At the top of your turn, you notice as you kind of scan around the Golden Cutlass, one, Gwendol is still holding the gun in fear towards this strange creature. Two, you notice that at all of the windows to this establishment, you see a raven staring in each of them. Their eyes train on you. However, top of the order, top of your turn, Mustang Strums, how would you like to face death?
It's a really good question. Well, first I'll shout
Yeah,
at
good.
Wendell again to get the guards.
Sure thing.
Before, let's see. I guess we're gonna 5, 10, 15, 20. We're gonna hope that he doesn't have to reach 10 feet. We're gonna go over here.
Cool. Your hope. It's not exactly gonna work out tonight. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're gonna move out of his range? Well,
I mean, I
you
said,
already did.
yeah, I already did. So yes.
I've been enough nice DM. Cool. You watch as he doesn't have any weapons that you can see currently on him. But as you leave the 10-foot reach, you watch as he takes the chain that is connected to the coffin and swings it at you. And the coffin,
Wow.
like a oversized battle mace, a flail, excuse me, is swung full force through the air. That is going to go ahead and be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Wonderful. You're going to go ahead and take, and I apologize in advance. Ooh, low rolls. Awesome. 22 points of damage.
Oh God, that's low. Ooh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You feel that sense of dread and doom as you get, oh my God, my voice is leaving me. As you get struck with the coffin and it continues to pass through you and it does physically make contact with you. And there is that part of hello? Up. I'm sorry, Narrowbot. What the fuck? There is that sense of like physical contact. However, as it passes through you, that sense of impending doom grows substantially to the point where there is no doubt in your minds this presence is what you felt upstairs. But that is still your turn. That is just a reaction from it. What would you like to do, Mr. Strums?
Okay. I think we're going to bonus action without the big iron.
Iron on a hip.
And for my action, we will go ahead and fire and hope for the best.
Hop. Go ahead, roll me some
And
attack rolls.
we'll use a second level spell for this.
Go for it.
Okay.
First shot.
Oh, it beefs. It beefs into the wind
What'd
with
you
a
get?
10.
10. Big
Yeah.
old miss. Big old iron, big old miss. Go ahead, fire again.
Yeah, we'll fire again. This time we'll just do first level. How's a 21?
21 doesn't sound bad at all. That'll hit.
All right.
Which it doesn't look like this figure's wearing armor at all. So
Okay.
it's not exactly like it's hard to hit. It's just the first shot you were so filled with dread, it threw off your aim. But the second one, you steady yourself, focus. Go ahead. And
That'll
roll me
be 20 points of. What kind of damage will we call it? Let's call it. God, I really only have access to fire and nothing else.
Fire
Yeah, we'll call it fire damage.
Hell yes, that is fire damage. Let me go check. Okay. How much was that again?
20 points.
20 points exactly. Fantastic. Hell yeah. That is action, movement. I believe bonus action.
Yeah, we're
To
done. We're done. It's his turn. Or
We're
Wendell.
done.
If Wendell's on here somewhere.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm gonna go put on a placeholder for Wendell. Do I have a big boy that can take
See
the
that
place?
blunderbuss in action, Wendell.
You know what? Wendell is such a cute and wholesome soul.
Oh.
He's
Oh
gonna
no,
take
he's
the place of
Hieronymus Jackson.
Phoebe. Hieronymus Jackson lives. Let me go ahead. He is operating off of Bug stat block, so he ain't got a whole lot to his name. Hey, but he still goes before him. So Gwendol is currently frozen in fear, but as you shout to go get the guards and he stares at this creature, he's gonna go ahead and shakily pull the trigger, firing the blunderbuss towards the creature. That's gonna be I think a +4 bonus to hit. 17 does hit. Gwendol pulling up.
Team Wendell. Let's go.
The blunderbuss gonna go ahead and deal 14 points. Ooh, low roll. 14 points of piercing damage. It is a non-magical weapon, so unfortunately, you watch as some of the shrapnel just kind of blasts through the creature and just hits the furniture and tables behind him to no effect. To the actual body, more hurting his store and place of residence than the creature. But then he's going to take his lovely self, turn towards you, and go, "Right, I'm gonna go get help. Uh, Stay here, run. Forget whatever I said before. Just live." And he's gonna go run into the back room and leave the turret order. That is Bundle. We are gonna go ahead and go to the Revenant. Revenant is gonna go ahead and turn towards you and drop the chain that leads to the coffin. And you watch as it pulls out almost mirror copy version of a Prime Monica.
Oh, damn it. I'm about to get my shit blown up.
Your head is going to go ahead and fire twice. That is pop, pop.
Oh
Your AC is only 17, right?
No, it's much lower.
no.
Ooh, buddy. That
Oh.
both. Well, so here's the fun part about this. Oh my god, that's so much damage. You are gonna go ahead and take. You're not concentrating on anything, so this makes it nice and easy, and just total it up. 21, 29, 38 points of piercing damage. And
Alright.
you watch as the shots go into your body, your form solidifies where the bullet hits. And you can see it starts to spread. And for the first time, Mustang Stroms, you feel heavy.
Oh, damn.
You feel like you have weight to you. And as the bullets hit, and seeing that it begins to spread, he just smiles and is going to go ahead and walk right on up to you. And to his turn. What'd you like to do, Mustang? By the way, at this point, forgot to mention this. Your body is releasing both the same dark ichor it was leaking out before, and is now becoming a plume of smoke that is rising out and filling the space around you. And you can see the burned and scorched hole from where the explosion hit of the fireball above you is now just a makeshift chimney releasing smoke into the air. Also known as you've become a blaming beacon. But it's your turn. What do you like to do?
Oh, smoke signals. Gotta let everybody know. Um,
It's just smoke pattern spelled out in the air. Help.
so I guess time for another fireball. You guessed it. Right on top of us,
Another
both of us.
fireball, both of you.
Yes.
Better hope Wendell's insurance goes well. That is a dexterity saving throw, right?
Yes, and I will choose to fail and use my reaction to eat it for breakfast.
Sure thing. Go ahead and roll me that damage. Ooh, excuse me. That is a 15 on saving throw, which I don't.
That succeeds.
Oh, it does.
I think. Yeah, it does succeed.
All right, go ahead and roll me damage.
Oh man, the damage. Okay, so
We're
that's
looking
gonna
at
be 27 points and a half.
27 points. Hell yeah. And you gain 27 temporary hit points back.
Mm-hmm.
You do see fire seems to be effective. It does not look like the creature is fully bothered by this, though. As the fire wraps around the body, it does not make an attempt to dodge it. It tanks it and smiles through it. As the flames subside, it is face to face with you. And you can see the grin almost cracking the actual skeleton itself. That's your action.
Bonus action? Shoot him.
Bonus action, fuck you, brother. I don't go.
Yeah, it may just be symbolic, but
Sure, go and make me a shot. It is at disadvantage, as it is a hostile creature
Yeah.
within 5 feet of you. Well, you still got a chance. Again, it's not that high of AC. You just rolled.
so it's to be a 14 at disadvantage.
14 at disadvantage. 14 hits.
Oh,
Again, he's not wearing armor. he's
I want
he's
fuck
just
you.
a dude.
All right. And so that's gonna be 8 points of piercing damage as well.
8 points. Piercing, nice. Action, bonus action. You moving anywhere?
No, Mustang he's facing this head on.
All right. At the end of your turn, now your body literally steaming, smoking, and now releasing this sickly oil-like substance protruding from every single surface of your coal-like body. You can feel the fever and the feeling of sickness, and more specifically, it was impending doom before, it now feels like death. You can feel yourself dying, and you feel that continuing to grow, and you just hear the voice in the back of your head. Come on, Joan. It's gonna have to be sometime today, but I do not want to sit here and watch you make a fool of yourself. And also, at the end of your turn, you notice as you are frantically looking around, taking in your surroundings, as the ravens that were previously there are now gone.
Bro.
Your passive perception's what now?
17.
17? Cool. Not high enough. You don't notice that above in the rafters, now descending down into the midst of said combat, covered in black, a raven on their shoulder, Brian, would you like to describe your character for us?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, sure.
Would you like to describe what Mustang sees as they land on top of this creature?
You see, it's a tall. He's kind of slender, but he's got a little muscle to him. Ashen-colored skin. He has long black hair with a little hint of blue in it when a light hits it just right. He's clean-shaven. Going down along each side of his jawline, he has tattoos, and they're tattoos of ravens. Once he is coming down, he has a katana in his hands. And then let me put it in visuals real quick.
Hell yeah.
お前はも
目を見
う死んでいる。
何?
There it goes.
Ooh!
Oh, he pretty.
Yeah, ooh, pretty in the party. Hmm.
And if you actually drag your token on, it should already be updated. The cover will still look the same for now, but it should be the new token.
I don't. Oh, I see it. Okay.
Hell yeah. There you go. Fantastic. As you leap in, please also roll initiative for me, my friend. You have your updated sheet, right?
I don't know if I gave it to you.
No, but you have it created.
Yeah,
I know you
yeah,
had
yeah.
fun. Fantastic. Just use that for now. 12. Perfect. Let's use still for the creature, meaning at the end Mustang's turn. It's you, my friend.
All
What
right.
do you like to do?
As he lands on the ground with the katana in his hand, he will take a swing.
Go for it. Make it with advantage as you are flanking.
Oh, 13.
With advantage?
13 to hit. With advantage, yeah.
Oh, buddy.
My other one was a natural 1.
Oh boy.
What an entrance. Land. A little bit of dust and smoke rises and falls as you kind of not like full superhero landing it. It's kind of like a tuck and roll into a slash. And as you slash, the blade goes right through the creature.
Whoops.
And you see it slowly turns its head.
New arrival. You're not on the list.
But you were on my list. And then with a bonus action,
Yeah?
let's try this. I don't know. I will use a key point and use for flurry of blows.
Sure, go for it. There we go.
There we
Don't
go.
forget to roll these with advantage as well. Oh, there you are.
I did.
Fantastic.
I did.
You're already
yeah.
ahead of me. 15 hits.
And then that will be for not much for right now, but I also have sneak attack.
Yes, you do.
So let's
Go ahead and roll that as well.
add 5 more to it.
11 points of damage. Nice, nice. And one more.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's 2 hits, isn't it?
You 2 hits. You don't get sneak attack twice, but you do get another shot.
Right. That's a better.
Ooh, mama. Hell yeah. 7 points of damage.
7
Not a
more
bad
damage.
introduction at all, sir. See how, as you land, this katana swipe unfortunately slicing through the creature as it seems to dematerialize for a second. But as it turns around to greet you, and it says you're not on the list. You just punch this thing twice in its face, and you just see a slight crack in the skeleton appear as you pull away for the second time. And you see as the entirety of the rafters above are now filled with ravens cawing, almost cheering on this strange yet very unexpected event, as this is this is not exactly why you're here. At the end of your turn, you watch as this creature, now looking at the two new threats, smiles.
I'll get to you in a second. I'm sworn to kill him first.
And coming in the door, to make things only worse, I apologize, Mustang. You see this hulking, between what you could probably guess to be 9 to 10 foot tall looking ogreish individual. One of which is currently donning the Flora Alliance crest on their breastplate. And for a second, Mustang, you get excited. One look at the guards. Until they look towards you and smile. It's not a grin of someone coming to save you. You immediately recognize the symbol on their chest without even needing a history check, as someone who's done business with the Alliance many times in the past. The rose is facing the wrong way. And you watch as they begin to stomp in towards the bar, club in hand, winding up a strike, laughing. You hear this deep gnarled voice.
It's basically free coin.
As they run up towards you, even the Revenant itself looking almost caught off guard and surprised before this sound rings out through the bar. An echoing, almost cannon-like blast. And you watch as about the size of a barrel-sized hole, appears within this ogre's chest as they collapse to the ground about 10 feet away from you. Sound of stirrups clanging together, walking towards the bar, and the doors slowly opening up. You hear a familiar voice before you see a familiar face. A fucking letter? A fucking letter?
Oh
Is
no.
that all I am to you these days? Not even a fucking sending. As you see a familiar hulking form of an automaton stampeding through the dead corpse of the ogre. We're gonna go ahead and end our session there tonight.
Oh,
Dang.
Arrive.
Before it ends, you guys see Mustang. He turns to the Revenant and he just starts shaking it. Kill me! Kill me!
Oh my god.
Oh no, I'm so excited.
And tonight,
wow.
I don't have the mental bandwidth to run combat. And also, I feel that is a great place to pick up next week with a potential 2 combats on our hand.
We love it when we split the party.
Split the party. Nothing goes wrong when you split the party. Hell yeah. I hope you enjoyed that.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
I
that was good.
I will say this, I stuck true to my word. I said I would kill Doug. It had to happen.
So
It was a side plot.
Yeah.
Red herring.
it was a joke.
It was a joke, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, he
dude, I
wasn't-
was
he
gonna
wasn't-
feel so bad.
When you said
I was
that,
like,
Ryan-
Dude, I
brother.
felt awful. I can't.
Ryan sending me private messages like, dude.
Like, did this happen? I was like, Stang's got revivified. Like, maybe Dom's got something up his sleeve. Doug's not dead yet.
No, Doug's fucking
But I
dead.
guess he is.
I had a strange feeling because I was like, why does Doug only have 26 hit points? Like, what is going on here?
Well, back in the day when Brian was returning to the campaign and questioning me about coming back as a new character, we had the one shot and Ryan made the joke of like, "Oh my God, wouldn't this be hilarious if this was your new character?" And we're like, "Ha ha ha, yeah." And then immediately after, Brian messaged me going, "Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if we did play around with the idea of Doug, like for a few sessions or for like even a little bit, and then we just killed him off and introduced my actual character I want to play?"
Sure.
That's hella
I was
funny.
just like, "Yes, please."
Yeah.
He was like, yes, but you got to make him fall in love with Doug.
Oh yeah, no, I was like,
Yeah,
"Do
fucking,
not play it
you
off.
did.
Do not play it off like he is cannon fodder. Make him like actually believe he's the character."
How
And
dare you?
fantastic. Honestly, I am a professional Doug hater, but I truly love the Doug appearance tonight. The Doug voice, more than anything, was so good. I love Doug.
Thank you.
May he rest in peace, though.
Yeah.
Pieces.
I felt so bad for just
No
like
pieces, dog.
absolutely reading him to filth this entire session, and then I kill him.
Roasted the fuck
Oh
out
my
of him before we
God.
killed him. That's gonna be great trauma to pass through someday. Oh,
Good God Almighty, this was a juicy one. I really want to see what happens with everyone else. Like,
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
I am
Same.
so curious.
heist hasn't even started. We already
I
have
know.
combat with sponsors, baby.
On the edge of my seat over here.
Yeah, I was building this up for a while, but I was just like, man, I don't have the energy to get through it all tonight. Like, I wish I did, because there's so fucking much. I even skipped over parts. I was like, I just wanna get the ball rolling.
I love the back and forth though. I mean, you were cutting out at like the right times to go
I
to
know,
the next
dude.
one.
I know. Every time we were like, oh, oh.
I'm glad being a professional asshole is still skills that I can use in the field.
Bro, I was so slow on the uptake about the island thing. Like, I wasn't even.
It took you a second, yeah.
It,
When you were
it took like I
"Wait,
didn't even
who?"
realize it until after I was like, wait, who's he
You know
talking
what's
to?
funny? Listen to the recording. I think both Megan and Brian audibly gasped, and then it's you a few seconds later going, "What?" Going, huh? It was very comical.
Yeah, I was totally delayed responding to the Vander thing. Like
Oh yeah, no.
by a minute.
I don't just throw out random NPCs for a reason. Everything's connected in some way.
Oh, that
Very
was a lot.
very heavy on the Peter Quill. What?
Yeah, that
That's,
was
that's how
great.
that
Dude.
whole thing felt.
100%.
That is such a good gift for that moment.
I was like,
funny
damn, he's
'cause
stealing
Manif-
shit from druids. Like,
Manif
that's kind of
didn't
cool. The
trust
island
me.
sank. Neat. Didn't even think about it.
He's like, "Oh, you stole from Druids. What? That's
But
crazy."
we were thinking, like, damn, I wonder if I can get that artifact. I don't know what it is, but it's probably cool.
Oh god. Yeah.
Ah.
Everyone has weapons in the closet. Some just